Sage Forsaken here with another action figure unboxing. Today we're looking at the Animal Planet Deep Sea Adventure set. This Deep Sea Adventure set comes with one figure, accessories, a whale of some sort, and a really cool diving suit that reminds me of the Big Daddy. So from BioShock. That's why I bought this set. It was on sale at Walmart for $10. You should definitely check it out. We're going to take everything out of the box and talk about it. So let me go ahead and pause the video. Okay, so before we open the box, you can see there's actually multiple underwater deep sea sets. The one on the left you can see has a vehicle for the deep sea diver to drive. As well as more of a prehistoric creature, more in the dinosaur style vein. I love the paint application on that from the picture. Who knows if that's how it is in the store. Of course, the deep sea diver here. This whale looks much bigger in this picture compared to the figures than it does in the box. So we're gonna compare that because it looks like they may have put the whale a lot closer to make it look bigger. Interesting to kind of see that. Of course, you got all your warnings. Remove all tags. Adults should remove components from molding runners before giving to a child. This set is ages 5 and up. That's probably because some of the pieces are rather small, especially some of the diving gear we're going to look at. Okay, let me open this up. Welcome back, and we're now looking at the set out of the box. The figure, of course, is kind of strapped into a bracket that holds it in place. There's a screw underneath you have to unscrew to get it out. The whale has a strap that kind of holds it in place like a twist tie. The accessories are under a plastic sheeting for the diver. And of course, the big daddy of them all is also kind of strapped in place. So we're going to see about getting this all taken out. You can see how the big daddy is kind of molded in place by these screws. These plastic screws are pretty common nowadays on some of this packaging, and what they do is they hold everything in place so that it looks good in the box when they're selling it. I'm going to go ahead and pause this video again and see what we can figure out. Welcome back, and so I've got the whale out first. The whale has a mouth that does open up, so it could look like it's swallowing things. It does automatically close itself on its own. The arms, or the fins on the whale, are on a pivot so that the whale can pivot around. You can have the fins in different spots for different types of swimming motions or pictures or whatever. They don't fold inward, but they do spin all the way around. And of course the tail, even though it is a separate piece, it doesn't pivot because it has a ridge along the top of the whale. That kind of, it means that it's not supposed to. It looks like they may have thought of, okay, so it looks like what they've done is they've actually got a button here to make the mouth open up. So it's for swallowing plankton, and you just push the button and it opens up. So that's interesting. Not really looking for a whale toy right now, but I might keep this around since some of the new core lines are going to dinosaurs and stuff. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so let's look at the figure itself. So like many of these Chatmay figures, it is limited in its articulation. There are 2 screw holes in the back. They have one hand that's going straight up and one hand that is like sideways. So like if you want to have him holding a gun, he could do that. Or if he's climbing up on something, he could grab that way with that hand. The head will turn left to right. The paint application looks pretty good from the front. You can see on the back that they did kind of not do any paint application, even though based on what we're seeing here, we should see more paint applications at least somewhere on the back, even if it wouldn't be where you'd think it would be. There's no paint application towards the feet or anything of that nature. And of course, he's got a face that only a mother could love. Okay, that's the figure. Okay, so welcome back again. So, one thing I didn't notice when checking out this figure is that the feet are actually articulated, which is good since he's a swimming figure. That's the only real good articulation he has there. The legs themselves do not have knees, but it does allow him to look more like he's swimming. There's actually a vest. The only reason I didn't put this on him is that there's a strap on the back. You'd have to undo and then put it over his head, and I just don't want to do that right this second. I've actually got these accessories, and I think I'm going to try to use them instead with this guy, because I got this G.I. Joe here. I think it's like a wetsuit or something of that nature. He does not have any accessories, so like the flippers, if they'll fit on his feet, would be a really nice addition in my opinion. Though it doesn't look like, actually that doesn't fit too badly. Even the helmet doesn't fit too badly. So I've got this guy here. I might try to put on the flippers on him, as well as the other wetsuit piece. But I thought it was pretty cool to get some diving gear for my G.I. Joe that doesn't have one. Anyway, I'm going to really fight to get this thing out of here so I can see all the sides of it and everything. So I'll come back in just a minute. Okay, so here we go with the deep sea diver Big Daddy type suit. As you can see on the back, there is a hook that the camera is attached on the side. There's like a ventilator or something in the back there, and the legs don't move. The fans on the side to allow locomotion pivot so that they can steer the vehicle, and they do pivot independently, so of course you could have it pivot either way. The tank on the side looks like it comes on and off just like the camera does. It kind of just pegs into place. And of course I've already got our diver in there. It was a little bit of a tight fit getting him in there. You can see what they've done is, instead of having to make a bubble for every one of those glasses, they just made a big piece of plastic that covered all the different holes in the sealant, in the mask, so that you can see basically lenses on each one. The hand pivots that way. It does move up, around, and down. There's a pivot point there. So he would be able to manipulate things if you were doing stop motion or you just wanted to play with it. You know, he would be able to pinch your things, and pretty cool little dive set. Like I said, when it came out of the box, the camera actually had come off. I had to peg it back into place. So it looks like it's back in there good, but it's in there pretty good right now. I'm not going to mess with it too much. But basically the arm will reach up and down, and the handle pivot around on either side. Overall, I like this set pretty good. I don't really... I like this set pretty good. I don't really foresee much trouble making this into a Big Daddy. It already has the same kind of silhouette and size and everything. It'll be a good size to go with like G.I. Joe. If you wanted to have like a G.I. Joe diver. In fact, if they were making Deep Six the way they made him back in the day, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't make a Deep Six much more like this nowadays. So I think it's actually pretty cool. Thank you for checking out my video. I hope this has helped you decide whether or not you wanted to buy this product. It is the Animal Planet Deep Sea Adventure Set. And like and subscribe if this is the type of stuff that you like to see. Okay, so I guess I'm not quite done with this video after all. I wanted to do a quick update. I did go ahead and add the harness to this figure, as well as the helmet and the fins. The fins actually fit this figure really well. His ankles still can pivot. And really that means that this is a really useful set if you have any divers from G.I. Joe, because you can't always find the fins and all the accessories that they came with unless you're buying them in package. So I was really happy with the fact that I get a harness that's the right color for this diver I had. I get fins, and I'm way out of focus because my hands are way closer to the camera, I guess. I get fins that fit the figure, you know, all that stuff. So go ahead, and if you're looking for diving gear, you might consider getting this set just to kind of get some better diving gear. Now I will tell you, the light that came with it would not fit in his hand without risking damaging it. So the light's no good. Hey guys, here's a pro tip for you. When you're getting rid of all the plastic and stuff that comes with these types of figure sets, one thing I do, and this only fell over because what I did is I kept the plastic screws that go into the bottom of the feet. If I decide to mount this in some way, what I'll be able to do is, of course, put a piece of thin plastic or cardboard or whatever under there so that I can basically screw it back into place and it won't be able to move or anything like that until I unscrew it. Also, the little figure stand that was holding the figure in place, you know, it's basically perfectly shaped to be a gun rack or something of that nature. It's got the little pegs there so that you can actually put this in a base or something like that and then peg some guns around it so that it'll look like a weapons rack. It also has a plastic thing in the bottom, but it's not a screw. If I decided to use that, I'd have to fight it a little bit to get that piece out. But it's also a possibility I could get this piece to slide out with some work and then just basically leave a hole and peg that in place and it wouldn't be able to move in my diorama. So if you make dioramas, that might be something you're interested in. Thanks again.